Hello and welcome to week 4 of LIBS 501. This week we will be looking at the steps of evaluate and acknowledge. For this week, I need you guys to be looking through the week 4 instructor video, evaluating sources, methods, and example link from Scribber, the 5 tips to determine if your source is credible YouTube video, and formatting an APA style reference list video. For supplemental or non-required materials to look at, we have our Creating an APA Style Reference Guide list from APA Style, as well as formatting the APA reference page video. We have 3 assignments due this week. First, we have our reference page citations assignment. We have our evaluating sources post through our discussion boards, and then we have a midterm check-in evaluation for feedback on how you guys think this course is going so far, and if there's anything that we can maybe change going forward in the next 4 weeks. So looking at our topics for information literacy. This week we are looking at the steps of evaluate and acknowledge. So evaluating is critically examining found information for credibility, reliability, and usability. So the 2 assignments that we're connecting with this is our evaluating sources post, which is due this week, and our annotated bibliography assignment, which is due next week. For the step of acknowledge, we're crediting the original source of information. And like I had mentioned, a lot of our assignments moving forward here will have our citations, so I'm really just making sure you guys are keeping up on creating those citations and incorporating those. So, creating citations. So why are we citing our sources? As mentioned last week, it makes your work more credible. It tells your reader where you found the information. It allows your reader to learn more beginning with your sources. It gives credit to the people whose words and ideas you're using, and it protects you from plagiarizing. So when we create a working reference page, it's really helpful as you're going through your research to just be gathering up your materials. So as you go through your searches, as you figure out what sources you want to use, add citations into a reference page. Now, keep on top of your citations throughout your research process, and it really helps save yourself from becoming overwhelmed at the end of the process where you're trying to just build everything more or less from scratch. So as you're doing this kind of working reference page, don't feel like your citations need to be perfect while working through, but do make sure you're collecting the elements that will help create this. So with that caveat though, I'm giving you, please note that for the upcoming assignment, please write out your citations correctly so they can be graded with full credit. But as you're working through your drafts, make sure you have the author, the title of the article, the year, kind of just general information that will help you recreate those citations or refine those articles if you need to do that. So for our assignment instructions for this week, so for our reference page citations, you're going to create a reference page in APA citation style that consists of at least 5 sources you have found during your database searches. All citations must be formatted correctly and listed in alphabetical order on an APA citations reference page. So make sure you're listing it in alphabetical order, that your citations are error-free, and feedback and corrections will be provided. So this is just going to be a fairly short and quick assignment just to give you guys a jump start on creating those citations, where you're having issues with, what elements to be looking for, and kind of where you guys have your own hiccups. Now for evaluating sources. So things to look for when you're evaluating your sources. So there are several models that you can look at when evaluating those sources, things such as the CRAP test, the proven method, SIFT model, as well as lateral reading. So all evaluation methods should consider who the author and publisher are, if there's any biases presented, the timeliness of the research, the credibility of the sources that source used, as well as the purpose and intention of that source. So why was it created? So for our assignment for this week, for our evaluating sources post, you're going to be evaluating 2 sources, and you're providing information on the following. So you'll create a citation for both of your sources, and I encourage you to evaluate sources that you're already also putting into your reference page assignment. And for each source, you're going to evaluate the following. You're going to say the purpose and intended audience, the authority and credibility of the source, the accuracy and reliability, the currency and timeliness, and the objectivity or bias. So for each of the sources, please write out a paragraph length evaluation of the source, its credibility, and the usability of that source. So for this week, what I need you guys to be working on, so for materials to look through that are required, is the week 4 instruction video, the Scribber Online's article of evaluating sources, which includes methods and examples, Smart Students' YouTube video on credible sources, 5 tips to determine if your source is credible, the Purdue Global's YouTube video of formatting an APA-style reference list. For our supplemental or non-required materials you guys can look through is the Style Guide reference sheet from APA Style, as well as Scribber's YouTube video of formatting the APA reference page. This week, like I mentioned, we have 3 assignments due. So first is that reference page citations assignment. So pull 5 sources, create the citations, and submit that in. We have our evaluating sources post. So you're evaluating 2 of your sources and that you're kind of considering, and reply again to 2 of your classmates. That initial post is due on Thursday and the response is due on Sunday. We also have our midterm check-in evaluation, which is completely anonymous, and it's an evaluation on the course thus far. So this isn't optional, but I do encourage you guys to give me feedback so I can see what's working and what's not for this course, and that'll be due on Sunday. So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can always send me an email or set up a one-on-one meeting. I hope you guys have a great week, and I look forward to seeing your guys' work.